If you listen to this song,
it seems like somebody wants me. I can be a better man.
Ili kupata mtoa baraka kama skiza star 812 star 503 hash.
Wewe, ni kwa nini una ile asia anayetoa? Kwa nini unapenda baraka, humpendi mtoa baraka? Na unapenda mchuzi wa papa ila papa mwenyewe humtaki. Ni busara kutambua kuwa ukimpata mtoa
baraka kama skiza tune, bonyeza star 812 star 503 hash.
Kenya Revenue Authority KRA operators, including those who are not registered for VAT, to electrically generate and transmit their invoices through eTeams. ecitizen.kra.go.ke to register today and start your invoice transaction 2024. Kenyans are also encouraged to request for an electronically generated receipt with every. Let's ensure transparency and accountability for a great future. Don't wait till it's too late. Vuka to eTeams today. Tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever to KBC Channel 1. This is Prime Edition. My name is Mboya. Our top stories begin.
Beginning 1st of April, we are going to begin posting of all the interns.
We've had both in the national and on county governments in the month of January 2023. It has been implemented.
The strike is still on. Government promised to absorb more than 1,000 medical interns on the 1st of April. Hassan Joho claims he is better placed to succeed Raila Odinga in ODM leadership. Plus, ownership, government to register and issue title deeds to all 2027. Many thanks. Our sign language interpreter is Anne Wangeshi. Our socials at KBC Channel 1. Let's open. The Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union has dismissed the Ministry of Health plans of posting 1,200 medical interns by the 1st of April 2024 and vowed to continue with their strike. The union says that similar process past have gone unfulfilled. Kasichana Masha opens our coverage with that strike.
The strike by the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union, KMPDU, entered its 5th demand. Hospitals experiencing an influx of patients from public hospitals. At the Christa Marian Hospital in Kisii that is now attending to 500 patients daily from the previous 200.
This challenge, we request the national government and even the county government, wherever they have some help they may consider us because we serve the public and we have a time that whoever come to Christamarian must be helped.
Nairobi, the union officials and other health stakeholders honored an invite by Ministry of Health to a crisis on resolving the stalemate. After a session, Health Cabinet Secretary Susan Nakumicha emerged to state the government's union's demand for absorption of 1,200 medical interns.
We have also briefed the union and agreed a confirmation from Treasury, and beginning 1st of April, which is in 2 weeks' time, of all the interns.
But the KMPDU dismissed the promise as not as made before that went unfulfilled and vowed to continue with the strike.
That the interns were to be posted in February. We also posted them in March. Today we have been given a promise that they'll be posted in April. It is earned, and it is earned from the outcome of previous commitments. We've had commitments both in the national and on county governments in the month of January 2023, but nothing.
Health CS Nakumicha, however, said the matter cannot be handled by the Ministry of Health alone.
And what we have done in our is to highlight the matters that then we agreed shall proceed to the whole of nation. They are cross-cutting matters. There are matters that are to do with the Ministry of Education, matters that are to do with public service, matters that are to do with SRC, Treasury, Head of Public Service.
Asha, Prime Edition.
Now here's a question. Are you 18 years? Facebook account or even an Instagram account, and you're active on them. Well, in June of 2024, you'll be making money via content creation. This follows Status Nairobi Monday between the government and the United States social media giant Meta to monitor. Making the announcement, President William Ruto urged the youth to take advantage of the deal to eke a living. Here's
data from the Communications Authority of Kenya shows U.S. social media giant Meta owned Facebook, WhatsApp, one of the most used social media applications in Kenya in the 3 months to December 2023 at 47.5% and 47%. YouTube was third with 21%, then Chinese-owned TikTok fourth at 17%. Instagram was the fifth most used social media platform at 11.8%.
We are working with Meta Group and all the other actors in this space to make it much more easy for SMEs to understand how they can do business, how they can conduct their enterprises.
We will be spending billions of dollars on that infrastructure now, but we want to make sure that it is available to everybody around the world for free and in multiple languages as well.
As such, the digital platform is an avenue the government for job creation and revenue collection. Following a meeting at State House Nairobi, and Facebook President of Global Affairs, Nick Clegg, eligible Kenyan content creators will now on Instagram Spaces by June this year.
And this is very much in tandem, Your Excellency, with your bottom-up economic transformation agenda, most thematic area in which the digital superhighway and the creative economy are Siamese twins.
President is eagerly waiting for the rollout and that digital service tax must be paid.
Positive thing from the people in the digital space, they keep telling me, you know, we're going to make this much money, minus so much. I'm very happy that everybody is now becoming conscious about making sure, because it's the only way we can sustain and maintain our independence as a country.
Must be 18 years and above and have at least 5 active videos on their Facebook or Instagram page. 60,000 minutes of views in the last 60 days to be paid through M-Pesa.
I think this is a day that we've been looking forward to. It will be it, and we are thankful for this opportunity.
The availability of mobile payments can be quite pervasive across every aspect. The hope is to hopefully export this example more broadly, and I know that the mobile payments team is quite committed to integrate this because we see this as a very strategic market.
The taxman has been collecting since January 2021, targeting revenues earned by digital service providers like Google, Netflix, Meta, even Microsoft, raking in 5.3 billion shillings from the digital economy 2022-2023. Regina Manyara reporting for Prime Edition.
The government will allocate funds according to the needs of ministries, departments and agencies to curb wastage. President William Ruto says that the executive will work to ensure that the year's budget allocation is both prudent and also accountable. President Ruto made the remarks during the funeral of Mboya Nulparakuo Tunai, mother of former Narok Governor Samuel Tunai, in Lolgurian, that's in Narok. Shuki reports.
Government agencies that can raise their revenue will not be allocated additional funds
of wastage in government. And I want to ask members of parliament to work with us. Don't need money where institutions can support their own budgets. We don't give them additional.
The President says the government has enacted 4 new laws to ensure every Kenyan has access regardless of their financial ability. He appealed to Kenyans with means to support the new public health by contributing 2.75% of their salary to actualize.
Hata kama mambo ya matibabu ni kazi ya counties, serikali tutatoa pesa 30% of all equipment we are going to pay as national government so that we can support counties. Na vile vile tutakuwa na program ambayo tutasaidia counties kama wanahitaji wasaidia kupata hiyo equipment. We will deploy national government resources and then they can pay over time. Miaka 5 miaka 7, lakini huduma ya afya kwa wananchi ipatikane sasa. Next month,
President Ruto also revealed that the government is working to subsidize fertilizer, reaches farmers at the grassroots.
Mbolea ya kutosha kwa sababu as a country we cannot continue to import food. Hatuwezi kuendelea ambayo tunaweza kuzalisha hapa Kenya. Nataka tukisimama, nyinyi mlio viongozi hapa na walio na uwezo, tunataka tukisimama mbele tulizalisha chakula Kenya, wale hawakuwa na chakula walipata chakula.
The head of state to enhance tourism by removing visa requirements for visitors. Shagwa assured Kenyans that the government has overcome economic challenges and is better positioned to address the country's.
This is a time because things are looking better. Sasa mambo imekuwa mzuri, bolea 7,000 to 2,500, walimu wameandikwa, unga ndio hiyo imeteremuka. And we also want leaders also.
Ishoki Washira, Prime Edition.
The government has adopted a strategy to supply chain of illicit alcohol and narcotic drugs and hold security agencies liable for failure to eradicate. Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has directed security and law enforcement agencies to generate a county-specific program to balance an illicit alcohol menace and destroy the supply and demand chain.
Interior Professor Kithure Kindiki on Monday toured various counties and held consultative meetings with security issues of national security in their regions. At the meetings, Kindiki maintained that and substance abuse must be one.
I have asked each county to develop a plan, an operational order which will guide the operation so that you don't have venturing out alone to go and deal with some drug peddlers, because we have had one or two unpleasant incidents, and this is because the relevant counties, the operational orders.
The Interior Cabinet Secretary said the transfer of police officers also remains a priority. 10,000 out of 42,500 police officers have been transferred.
We have also had all public officers who are involved in any business connected. They must stop and close that business, or alternatively they leave service. In law enforcement, where they have business interest, creates a conflict of interest, and therefore one must support the officers to choose. We don't want any conflict of interest.
CS Kindiki warned the war on illicit brew, even as he warned political leaders against political intolerance.
No political teacher is allowed to use violence, guns, and other criminals to harass, intimidate, fight the public against each other. And I have left very firm and clear direction to the Mboya County Security Committee to be firm, ruthless, and merciless on all finance, encourage, support, aid, and abet goons, political thugs.
Meanwhile, the CS noted that efforts are underway to clear the passport backlog. Prime edition.
Well, on to some disturbing news that's just coming through into the newsrooms. Students from Kenyatta University are feared dead. 10 students from Kenyatta University dead after the bus that they were traveling in had a head-on collision. They were traveling in their school bus occurring along the Nairobi-Mombasa highway at Mahuga. That's in news coming in. 10 students, all from Kenyatta University, are feared dead. Is a head-on collision in a bus that they were traveling in. The bus, of course, belonging to University. The accident occurring along Nairobi Mombasa highway in Voi. Now, embattled Bishop David Gakuyo has finally secured his release after being. Gakuyo finally managed to raise the 20 million shillings surety after his 2 attempts to have the flopped. These and more stories in our news main headlines from the courts.
Monday for the Calvary chosen church leader David Gakuyo after he priorities to cater for the 20 million bond slapped on him a month ago.
But unfortunately, the police. Okay. And I believe it is still safe with the police. And perhaps because our client has been in custody for the last 1 month, that you facilitate to aid that we get the release order when the police can bring the passport.
Gakuyo had on 2 occasions approached the court, but failed. Gakuyo walked into freedom after John Ngugi and Peter Kamau came to his title deeds worth 30 million shillings. He now is pre-trial set for 23rd April. Elsewhere, 2 elderly women have been charged before Milimani Law Court for receiving 1.8 million shillings by a position to execute a court order.
No, I don't contradict myself. I've made that decision right now, but the trial magistrate here.
The two appeared before Senior Principal Magistrate Susan Shitubi, denied the offense of million shillings bond. Meanwhile, a 67-year-old man has been arraigned in for raping a minor. According to the prosecution, the accused Peter Mutuku was arrested on Saturday evening.
Kwa wakati huu tutakunyima hiyo bond, tupate ripoti yako kutoka kwa probation, tunaita pre-sentence report ambayo itazingatia maoni ya jumla ya raia community.
Finally, a witness in the national 67.5 million shillings corruption case involving 5 individuals has told most of the goods used in 2018 were being received from the NYS headquarters in Gilgil.
Wakati tulikuwa tunachukua vitu hatakuwa na kwa matano, tulikuwa tunachukua maybe spare parts for the machines and maybe vitu kidogo ya kutengeneza matinga. Hizo ndio tulikuwa tunachukua kwake. Lakini maneno ya prioritization kuchukua zaidi.
During cross-examination, Koech told trial magistrate Luka it was not abnormal to place orders through radio calls.
Do you have any such letter that Gilgil signed for you? Or rather your spare parts from Nairobi?
The 5 are facing 54 charges of defrauding the National Youth Service. It's Mboya for Prime Edition.
Over 100,000 affordable housing units are under construction. Lands Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome says that the development will bridge the 2 million housing deficit, cater for urban areas, and stop the fragmentation of arable land. The CS made the remarks during the launch of the Ministry 2023-2027, adding that the housing levy bill expected to be signed into law will go a long way in funding the program.
The government appears to be looking ahead in the provision of houses to millions of Kenyans in need of decent.
The official launch.
On Monday, Wahome presided over the launch of the ministry's 4-year strategic plan, which among others provides a roadmap for the housing project.
The aim of these interventions is to provide houses to low and earners and create employment for over 1 million Kenyans.
The government has maintained that the house put hundreds of thousands of Kenyans into jobs, with many more expected to be employed in the.
His Excellency came into power. We've already launched 45,525 units. They are under construction. There were 8,872 that we inherited from the previous government that we transitioned. We have awarded 48,988 units, bringing us 485 units that are going to be under construction.
The affordable housing project has in the meantime been tipped of arable land.
Land is being fragmented every day. For what purpose? Purposes. If we don't stop that, and we are already food insecure, the future right.
Meanwhile, the government says by 2027, it shall have registered and titled all parcels of land.
To fast-tracking registration of titles and transfer of titles in land transactions, you have generally say to produce 2 million titles the next 5 years.
The famous Sasa, where we have rolled out is automation of the entire process of land transaction. And as the EU representative has just indicated, in Murang'a right now, they're in Mombasa, they're in Moboko, and they're in Isiolo, undertaking the digitization process.
To eliminate corruption in the land sector through the automation of services. Give us addition.
We take our first break on Prime Edition. We'll be back shortly with more. Stay with us.
Nairobi, the land of cool waters, the capital hub of East Africa. Nairobi is truly a city of dynamism. The expressway has created convenience to our visitors right from the nations. The favorite global capital for meetings, incentives. In Nairobi County, we are truly the hotbed of creative talent. Nairobi's hospitality. We have vibrant nightlife.
Aviator, be a daring pilot and earn by how much high you can lift the plane. The higher your win, the sky is the limit. Mozart Bet.
Welcome to Sensei Institute. Mahali skills zangu ni pesa mkononi. At Sensei College, skills is the definition. Accredited by the government and founded on a Christian background, all-rounded programs that are tailor-made to enhance your skills and give you the future you desire. We offer interior design, fashion and design, hairdressing and beauty, trailer driving and defensive driving, building construction technology and electrical installation, photography and video production, electronic courses, vehicle electronics and mechanics, ICT, and many more. To enroll in any of our campuses in Nairobi and need is your national ID card. Mapema do best. Take advantage. Come to kusort na skills. Sensei College, my skills, my future.
For us, it was about being the only women in the room, and how do we make women to be feel safe in those spaces.
This guy is a song writer, artist, and also a beat boxer. I'm talking about Ido.
The second edition of the Jam Concert Series for this collective courtesy of Goethe Institute and Anyiko PR. Turkana Sessions, a musical journey through the outstanding culture and landscape of Turkana.
This song, within a short time, if you've been following Harmonize's journey, manze uyu jamaa ame master, you know. Listen to this song, Hakuna Swahili word.
You got a man. It seems like somebody wifes me. I can be a better man.
That belongs to your sister's husband.
A forbidden passion marred a family's life. A passion that thrills.
I love you more.
Hurts.
Oh, what's wrong with you? I thought you're not going to come.
And breaks. In the present, the seed of that passion repeats the story.
I'm marrying your sister on Saturday.
A selfish woman who feels less than her sister Lucia wants everything she has.
Imagining things.
Deceit.
I don't need to have doubts about you.
Betrayal.
I love you more than my own life.
Passion that bores hatred, capable of revenge.
I don't even dislike him anymore.
And love that endures the test of time. Passion, every Tuesday to Sunday at 8 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
Welcome back to Prime Edition, our socials at KBC Channel 1. Former Mboya Joho claims his political base gives him an edge over former Kakamega colleague Wycliffe Oparanya Ambetsa to succeed opposition leader. Joho says that it was time the Orange Party adopts a new strategy that has a leader outside of the so as to deliver leadership.
Governor Hassan Joho is now keen to take over the mantle of the ODM party leadership and is already on a lobbying mission. What he claims to be a wider political base than his main opponent, former Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya.
We have to form a team of equals, like-minded leaders who understand where we want to go as a party and as a people to be able to liberate our. It's not about one person, it will never be.
Joho, who claims to have his sight set on the 2027 presidential contest, is a payback time for the Coast region, which has been loyal in ODM.
Na makosa gani mimi kusema kwamba sisi tumekuwa wafuasi kwa muda mrefu? Ni wakati pia.
The ODM deputy party leader warned those doubting his ability to watch his space.
Sacrifice maisha yake kujitoa mhanga on behalf of Raila Amolo Odinga over the years. And you're doing so because of possible succession conversations? Tuashimiane bana.
He was speaking to residents of food distribution program that he intends to actualize across the county. Juni Karisa Mbele.
There's an item here on malaria. Medical experts are warning that the climate change is posing big challenges in the treatment of malaria, despite over the last 20 years in combating the killer disease. Speaking at Malaria Forum in Rwanda, Dr. Lutz, Global Health and Sustainability Novartis, says that the change in weather patterns has seen a resurgence of drug, which is clawing back all the gains that have been made in the elimination of the diseases associated with mosquitoes.
Over the last decades, focused on how best to respond to the malaria drug resistance, mainly in the East Africa. The State of Affairs medical expert calls for a paradigm shift on how to deal with the new phenomenon.
The most malaria cases worldwide in Africa, but tremendous progress has been made in keeping people away from infection, but also infected alive as a consequence of a multitude of intervention, whether that's reducing the mosquitoes who carry it or developing very effective medicines for those patients who fall sick.
Global are worried that the world seems to be playing catch-up with how best to deal, which was almost contained.
But we need to go beyond just using the existing medicines, but also innovate into antimalarials. And at Novartis, we have made here at the Commonwealth meeting 2 years ago a commitment to $1 billion into research and development for new antimalarial treatment, but also treatments for other neglected tropical.
And manage the emerging challenges, medics are now treating each case separately. Ultimate elimination.
Important that you take charge of the future of the continent. I'm always impressed with the innovation power that exists on the continent, and I think we need to find better ways to unleash it. I don't just want innovation for Africa to be created in Africa, but Africa has the opportunity to create the entire world.
The success of the response to resistance in Africa will have to focus on surveillance and getting the basics right, providing access to vector control, diagnosis, and the treatments, and eliminating oral artemisinin monotherapies and With Africa bearing such a heavy burden disease, there is a strong need for African leadership to tackle malaria based on robust and accelerated introduction of new products and techniques. For KBC Bet in Rwanda.
He's remembered for serving as the chairman of the defunct Narok County Council before becoming a member of parliament and serving for 25 years. This week on the cabinet, we focus on William Ole, held different ministerial positions both in President Daniel Moi's government and also later on during the regime of President Emilio Kibaki.
William Ronkorua Olentimama was born in 1927 in Narok. He attended Ole Sankale Primary School in Narok, where he did Kenya African Primary Education. He later joined Kahuhia Teachers Training College and was deployed to teach Kiswahili and history at his former school. He also taught elsewhere in the region, even as he studied privately for his O-level exam. In 1953, he approached Carrie Francis of Alliance High School to allow him to sit for the exam. After Alliance High School, he went back to teaching and enrolled for a diploma course in law through correspondence. He later became a district officer, a member of the African District Council, a member of the legislature, chairman of the Narok County Council. His political career started in 1974 when he was elected County Council. He ran against Justice Ole Tipis in 1978 and 1983, but was unsuccessful both times. For his warlike utterances, more in 1983 for 102 days. It took Tanzanian Prime Minister Edward Sokoine to get him released by trading him with the 1982 coup plotter Hezekiah Ochuka. He was appointed chairman of various parastatals, including the National Housing Corporation, the Kenya Grain Group, and Industrial and Commercial Development Corporation. Prior to the adoption of multi-party politics in 1990, Mama was a staunch supporter of the then ruling party KANU. During the KANU era, multi-party politics. In 1988, during the infamous Mlolongo Q voting system, Tipis and was promptly appointed Supplies and Marketing Minister. This marked a long journey in the cabinet, where his dockets included local government, home support and communication, and office of the president in charge of public service. Ntimama would team up with KANU's Nicholas Biwott and Henry Kosgei to rally the Rift Valley region against the politics. They formed a pro-small communities platform called Kamatusa, which stood by Turkana and Samburu, that advocated for federalism as a counter to the pro-multiparty. Despite his detention in 1983, his sharp and forthright utterances continued to be subject into the next decade and beyond. However, after the advent of multi-party politics in the 90s, KANU and joined the Democratic Party, then headed by retired President Mwai Kibaki. He teamed up with John Kane, another veteran politician, to give Saitoti a hard time in national and Kajiado. In 1996, the relationship between Timama and Moi started deteriorating ostensibly after he was blamed for taking sides between his populous Purko and the Kekonyoki sections in Narok. Around the down during a meeting at Ntulele. After that incident, his access ahead of the 1997 general election, he survived stiff competition from Jackson KANU nominations. In 2002, he resigned and galvanized the Maasai votes In 2004, Kibaki appointed Ntimama Minister for Public Service. His stay short-lived as he was kicked out with others in the Raila Odinga group for the next year as President Kibaki passed from the government. The Public Service Minister was one of the 7 ministers who campaigned against the proposed constitution in the 2005 referendum down the middle. After the government lost the referendum, Kibaki sacked the entire cabinet history and excluded the Liberal Democratic Party rebels from the New Look cabinet. He joined the Orange Democratic Movement ahead of the 2007 elections. He won in that election on an Orange Democratic Movement party ticket. Ntimama was again appointed Minister of State and Culture, courtesy of being in ODM. The post suited him, a defender of the cultural values of indigenous communities. Ntimama lost the North Member of Parliament, which he had held for 25 years, to lawyer Moitalel Kanter. 15 years as chairman of the powerful Narok County Council and an Parliament and minister had made Ntimama larger than life, and his word held sway in Thailand. He retired from active politics in September 2013. 16, aged 88, Ntimama passed on at his Narok home. Cabinet.
Shamba ni mbili, yako ni gani? Kwenye star every 100 shillings unayotumia kwa Lucky Game inakupa 1 entry point ya kuingia kwenye drum ya draw ambayo inakupa fursa ya shamba hizi mbili. Mwisho wa April namtangaza mshindi wa shamba hili la 1.1 million Kenyan shillings. Safi. Na mwisho wa Mei namtangaza mshindi wa shamba hili la 1 Kenyan shillings, lori za mawe na mchanga. Ploti ndizo hizi. Dial star 570. Vuka na shake.
A very good evening to you. Thank you for watching Prime Edition. Time to get. My name is Betty Kiptum. Now, the construction of Kenya's first nuclear power plant in Kilifi County is becoming a reality. A funding agreement with various countries. The Nuclear Power and Energy Agency says the nuclear more than 500 billion shillings with a mixture of exchequer and development partners funding. Early this month, develop a nuclear reactor received a major boost from the International Atomic Energy Agency.
For the last 16 years, Kenya has been laying the ground for the construction of the first nuclear energy power plant in the region. The process has been slow and expensive by the International Atomic Energy Agency. So far, Kenya has managed to create the necessary legal framework as well as the creation of a nuclear power and energy agency to police nuclear energy development in the country. IAEA review mission gave Kenya a thumb of approval after the team said Kenya in the development of the national nuclear infrastructure for the country's new research reactor program.
To commence the process of ascending and ratifying relevant international treaties and conventions that relate to nuclear safety.
Executive Justice Wabuyabo says Kenya has signed a memorandum of understanding with China, United States and South Korea for the funding of the energy power plant in Kilifi County.
Include engaging with development partners and finance institutions to be able to develop a finance model that will be most country.
Abuyabo says the plant will repay itself within 20 years, with the reactor having a shelf life of 80 years.
A nuclear for about 80 years, and we've been able to be told that optimally it should be able to pay for itself within 15 to 20.
As part of the agreement, in South Korea will train Kenyan personnel on operating the nuclear plants.
Aspects of nuclear technology and science, to the point that when it comes to the time of construction, and we'll have adequate manpower to safely and securely maintain and operate the power.
Already, the environmental impact assessment is being carried out in Kilifi County, with NUPEA planning construction in 3 years' time. The Koeberg Nuclear Power Station in Cape Town, only one on the African continent. Benson Rioba reporting for Prime Edition.
The market is one of the leading markets in Africa in the adoption of environmental, social and governance reporting. This has seen to practice so far, which is voluntary for listed companies in Kenya. The Institute of Certified Accountants of Kenya companies should embrace ESG reporting, which is becoming a key consideration for many investors in the world.
Substantial steps towards adapting and implementing international sustainability standards. This is according to chairs the International Sustainability Standards Board, recognizing Kenya's renewable energy projects, eco-friendly agricultural practices and green manufacturing reduce carbon footprints.
Our goal, our task is to encourage. And global means inclusive. It cannot be a few countries. It's got to be, if you think about the fact that we are bringing an accounting language into the full value chains of companies.
Captains of the industry have highlighted the role of collaboration among various, including government agencies, educational institutions and industry bodies, in creating a supportive ecosystem for advancing.
These standards encourage organizations to invest in training programs and knowledge-sharing initiatives to empower accounting professionals and stakeholders with the skills and knowledge to comply with IFRS requirements. And this is part of the capacity building
of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, ISPAC, partnered with the Pan-African Federation for Sustainability Reporting Standards last year and were meant to be effective beginning January 2024. Edition.
Now, Kenyan-based digital online insurance platform MTech has secured an investment of $1 million from Verod Kepley Africa Ventures and Founders Factory Africa. The firm says it plans to invest the new funding in operations as well as to other East African countries. Insurance penetration below 3% for years, according to Insurance Regulatory Authority statistics. MTech is leveraging technology to enhance transparency, which will unlock insurance for all and increase insurance penetration.
We need to promote insurance for the communities, for everybody of all shapes and sizes. And Africa has struggled of access.
Bente Krogman, CEO of MTech, says the new funding will be instrumental in its expansion across.
With the investment with our partners, we are now able to spread and broaden that reach and really touch that individual consumer. Give them that safety blanket that is much, much needed, especially in today's environment.
The investment by Biographical Factory Africa will support us for further capacity building to expand our strategic partnership into the East African region.
The firm is leveraging technologies such as artificial intelligence and machine learning product innovation to streamline processes, enhance customer experiences, and drive operational efficiency across. Betty Kiptum, Prime Edition. Now, the Africa Union Development Agency, that is AUDA-NEPAD, has signed to promote AI upskilling across the continent. AUDA-NEPAD CEO Nados Bekele says the creating an inclusive digital society that leverages AI skills for economic growth.
The adoption and utilization of artificial intelligence in Africa faces several limitations. The shortage of relevant technical skills, inadequate infrastructure, limited development, and adaptable regulatory frameworks. In order to bridge this gap, the agency has signed a deal with Meta to skill Africans for the changing digital landscape.
We need to really build in all aspects, and therefore, digital skills, human capacity, institutional capacity, very important.
The deal focuses on creating an enabling environment for fair and ethical AI.
MOU with Meta Incorporated was, first of all, to help the infrastructure that is really required to make sure that all citizens are included in this whole socioeconomic transformation enabled by digitalization.
The framework is solutions to the barriers and threats to the use of AI in different sectors. Ndutamo Edition.
Absa Bank Kenya has reported 16.4 billion shillings, 3 full-year net profit, representing a 12% year-on-year growth that was powered by a 32.8% increase. Despite this, gross non-performing loans and advances increased 56.6% to 35.3 billion shillings. Proposed a final dividend payout of 1 shilling and 35 cents per share.
Absa loans and advances increased by 18% to 336 billion shillings after focusing on supporting key economic sectors such as energy, manufacturing, trade, commercial property, and affordable. The bank also prioritized the needs of the SME sector, facilitating increased access to markets, mentorship, and networking opportunities, as well as driving digital enhancements. The lender's digital loans increased 40% year-on-year, contributing 147 billion shillings of the total loans advanced.
You will see a branch, digital, agency, and an overall multi-channel that we are touching the customer at the point of their need and depending on the solution.
However, this came at a cost. The gross non-performing loans and advances increased from 22.5 billion shillings to 35.3, representing a 56.6% increase.
The impact of interest rates to NPL, that is going to continue if the interest rates continue holding at where they are, and we expect some time.
Total interest income rose 32.8% to 54.3 billion shillings, by a 44.2% increase in interest income on loans and advances to customers to 44.3 This helped the lender post 6.4 billion shillings in 2023 full-year net profit, up 12%.
So you see the revenue there at 19%, the cost picking up at 16%, then impairment at 43% growth rate. Crossing the psychological, if I was to call it that way, the 15 billion mark. So you see PAT picking about 12%.
At the board, we are very pleased with the outcomes for this year. It's in line and the aspirations, and you can see the results of the efforts that have gone in.
Dividend payout of 1 shilling and 35 cents per ordinary share. This is in addition to an 20 cents per share paid in October 2023. Alanoko, Prime Edition.
And for you this evening, sports news is coming up with Daniel Wahome. My name is Betty Kiptum. Good night.
Multi-bonus. Hadi asilimia 1,000 na multi-bonus 1,000%. Bet.
My name is Daniel Wahome and welcome to Prime. Soccer team Rising Stars is scheduled to leave the country tomorrow for the Four Nations tournament in Malawi, where they will all be out to ensure they come back.
In an open media session held at Kasarani, Babu said the team had solid training sessions which ensured the players were well prepared for their opponent.
Shaeka tukienda tournament tuweze kushinda hizo game zote mbili kwa sababu ni game semi-final na finali. Sasa imekuwa na robbing but tunaenda kushinda.
The tactician believes the tournament will be a good platform for the players to propel them to work harder in order to
tumeka vijana ready, tuka set kila kitu mind na technical bench na kila mtu tukaongea naye, so tuta make sure kila kitu sababu ni team tumekuwa nayo kuanzia under 18 tumekuwa na karibu 3 weeks huko na Kisumu, so tumekuja hapa tumekaa nao 1 week.
Captain Amos Wanjala said they expect physical encounters against Malawi, Zimbabwe and Zambia. The team held their day ahead of their departure on Tuesday evening.
Kwa kwanza hakuna football utaka kulose. Najua inaenda kwa tough tournament juu maybe hatujui ya I feel to go well prepared to face anyone who comes before us.
For Prime Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
Now, the national soccer team Harambee Stars have stepped up training ahead of the Four Nations tournament slated for the 23rd month in Lilongwe, Malawi. The tournament, which also involves host Malawi, Zimbabwe, will act as a build-up for the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup of Nations qualifiers.
Is currently training at Jamhuri grounds ahead of the Four Nations tournament. Stars tactician Engin Firat named a squad of 27 players that comprises of both local ahead of the assignment.
Ni mara ya kwanza na ni kitu sikuwa nime-expect. Imekam so soon yani good train now. Training kwangu iko poa na learn from the coaches. Ni coach mwenye ako more experience kadhaa yenye sikuwa nimelearn.
Firat is confident his charges will be ready for the tournament. The Four Nation tournament will feature Zimbabwe. The tournament presents a good opportunity to play more matches within the short international for the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup and 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. Edition.
Now, sprinters Hesbon Ochieng, Steve Odhiambo and Samuel Chege failed to make it semi-finals at the ongoing African Games in Accra, Ghana. The 2021 Kenya National Rally Division 1 champion Akif Virani has set his sights on the WRC Safari Rally Kenya, scheduled for next to make it to the finish and put behind his 2023 tribulations. He'll be among the 4 Kenyan rally drivers who will compete in the
Akif Virani will compete in his 4th Rally Kenya in as many years since its having made his debut in 2021 where he finished a strong 5th in WRC 3. Last year he had a good run in Rally 2 until the very end where he was forced to retire due to a radiator leak.
That I'll be doing. So last year we finished all the stages, including the power stage, the whole stage, and got our time, and then as we were just driving back to Service Park, the radiator had a hole in it, and that was it. It's a non-finisher just because of a little hole in the radiator.
Akif is among the few local entrants in the WRC Safari Rally, which he and calls for more sponsorships to enable them to better prepare for the event.
It would be really helpful if we had the sponsorship come on board and help promote our local talent.
So watch out for this Skoda at the Safari. Virani will be vying for a top 6 finish in his class and a top 10 finish overall. For Prime Edition, I'm in.
Now moving on is that first rising Harry Kappa beat defending champion Eric Dimon Gige 3 in the Nairobi E-League 1 Tour Esports qualifiers at the KCB Sports Club in Ruaraka. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi graced the company, booked their slots in the national finals, and will be joined by Jojo Dupe, who finished in third place, as well as wildcard Luoni for. Secretary Musalia Mudavadi backed the innovative way the youth were expressing themselves. The qualifiers culminating with a national selection that will see the top winners and slots to represent Kenya at this year's championship in France.
Extremely popular, and all I can say is that young people can spend their time being innovative, being creative. And I think the sky is the limit.
We also thank you for the recent announcement through the Cabinet Secretary of the double taxation for these wonderful people when they go out there to win prize money in the country and being taxed back home. But now we thank you that through the Office of the Sports Cabinet Secretary, we've been, which will really go in a long way of empowering our young people.
And championship side Coventry City will face Manchester United in the English FA Cup semi-finals, while holders Manchester City will play Chelsea in their quarter-final as Manchester United turn things around in extra time to beat rivals Liverpool at Old Trafford.
Garnacho. Pushed aside by Kelleher. Salah pulling away from the left. And that was still working this part of the pitch, and Garnacho's got in here. Off Kelleher. And McTominay. Stepping in, here's Salah. Indo can get it back here. He does, and he places it into the corner. But the flag has gone up. And Jurgen Klopp's celebrations cut short, and VAR confirmed the assistant's decision offside. But I'm just giving it away. McTominay for Rashford this time. Rashford to the rescue. Can they get a winner here, like they did in the Carabao Cup final late on? Elliott dispossessed by Amad Diallo, and Garnacho is away. With him. Here is the youngster, Ahmad. Oh, it's in.
And that's the sport for tonight. Thank you for being with us. Join us tomorrow for more sport on Prime Edition as we keep up with all is at the African Games in Accra, Ghana. My name is Daniel Wahome. Have a good night. Back to you, Tom Mboya.
The higher you fly, the higher your win. The sky is the limit. Mozart.
Thanks, Daniel, for that update in the sports and segment, and Anwangeshi for taking charge of our sign language docket. On behalf of the entire Prime Edition, I want to thank you. Good night. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Msubiri Mungu. Kama sikiza tune yako, bonyeza *812 501.
Kijana kanipigia simu, amejawa na huzuni, amefadhaika yuhoi. Nikamuuliza kuna, japo nimetia jitihada za mchwa kujenga nyumba kwa mate, nikaongeza kumcha, naishi kama lofa mlala hoi, kabwela wa madongo.
Kupata Msubiri Mungu kama sikiza tune, bonyeza 812 501 hash *812 1 hash.
Back to the future. The future is simulate.